She does that with such sass. She's sassy. Good morning, Unity community. You all look so beautiful today. I think I'm inspiring you to go buy jewelry. Well, not the men. Well, that fell flat. Okay. Good morning, global community, all of you who are streaming in today. My name is Reverend Denise Schubert. We are here on our last day of June. We have some wonderful new music. We have Reverend Claudia back with us today. Yay. So let me begin by telling you about this guy who's at the pearly gates waiting to be admitted to heaven, while St. Peter is leafing through the big book to see if this guy is worthy of entry. So St. Peter goes through the book several times. He furrows his brow. He's looking and looking. And he says, I can't see that you did anything really good in your life, but you never did anything really bad either. I'll tell you what, if you can tell me one good deed you did, you're in. So the guy thinks for a moment, and he thinks, and he says, well, there was a time when I was driving down the highway, and I saw a group of bad biker guys gathered around this poor girl. I slowed down to see what was going on, and sure enough, there were about 6 of them, and who were about to cause this sweet, innocent girl a lot of trouble. Very concerned for the girl's safety and feeling unusually courageous, I got out of my car, walked right up to the leader of the gang, a huge guy with a studded jacket and piercings everywhere. And I just put my hands on my hips and I threatened him. You got to move away from that girl. And you would have been proud of me, St. Peter. I yelled, leave this poor innocent girl alone. You're a bunch of sick, deranged animals. Go home before I teach you all a lesson. So St. Peter is very, very impressed and says, really? It's not in the book. When did this happen? And the guy goes, I don't know, about 5 minutes ago. Okay. Not bad, right? It's pretty cute. All right. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'd like to thank Janine Hedberg for anchoring our community in meditation this morning. Just so you all know, by the way, that we do meditation 9:30, promptly the doors close in the sanctuary. And if you get here late, you can go into our chapel where there's another prayer chaplain who's going to be hosting the meditation in there so that everyone can have a peaceful experience. And also, David Karg will be our platform assistant today. Thank you so much for your service. And we have prayer chaplains, a lot of them here actually, people who have been trained to pray with the community, to hold the high watch for you, that will pray with you anytime you want. You'll hear more about that later. Holding vigil today in the sanctuary is Bernie and Dorothy, our sacred service prayer chaplain power couple. I don't know where they are, but anyway, they're holding the high watch, which simply means they're in meditation while we're in service so that we can have the deepest experience possible. And finally, before we move on, we are a social media friendly center, church. Please turn off your phones, though, so they don't ring during service. And you can text and post to all of your social media about how much fun you're having here. So with no further ado, our music team.
All right. Good morning, Unity. Come on and rise up with us. Let's get this party started. This little light of mine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You know it. Sing along. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Break it down. This little light of mine, shine.
Yeah, yeah,
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Song really gets us on our feet, right? We go fast to slow down a little bit. So take a breath. So I'm going to read to you our community's purpose statement. We've been working with this purpose statement for a few months, and it's so powerful and speaks so clearly to who we are and what we're doing here. We're going to keep it. So if you'd like, it's in your program if you want to read along, or you can just let the words I speak wash over you. So our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, prayer, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on our planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God.
Where I am, God is. Where I breathe, God is breathing strong. Where I stand, God is bringing life in and out and through me, as me.
And so take a deep breath, a deep community breath. Let that breath invite you to take a deep dive into the center of your being, right into your heart chakra. Simply knowing that right there is where God is. Not low over there in the valleys or the mountains. There too, but right within you. Breathing your breath, beating your heart, singing your song, walking your feet. This presence, this power, this wisdom, this intelligence, this joy, right where you are. And so just take a couple of moments to let that energy of unconditional love cascade over you. To know in this moment it is the truth of your being. It's the truth of God's nature. Right where you are, not just perceived perfection, true perfection. God sees only your love, only your peace, only your kindness, only your compassion. In this moment, you are whole. And so I speak a word of blessing upon our service this morning, recognizing that right here, right now, God is. And that as a community, we are raised. As a community, we are praised. As individuals, we are comforted. We are inspired. We are lifted. And that God is here as the music. God is here as the prayer. God is here as the message. I bless Reverend Claudia right where she is, knowing that as she has said yes to ministry, said yes to serving, that all that transpires here today is God using her for its own purposes in order to lift, inspire, and grow this community. And so I'm so grateful for all of our Sacred Service volunteers, for all of those within the sound of my voice, simply calling today a good God day. We let this be, we let it be together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you.
So our summer theme is tending our spiritual garden, and our June series is entitled Pray, Prepare, and Plant. And Reverend Claudia's talk today is The Wise Gardener. And today's reading is from The Way of Mastery by Jeshu Ben Joseph. When I say that you were born to create, that you were created to create, I mean that being made in the Creator's image, your only function is to serve as a conduit through which the unfathomable mystery and beauty of love can be expressed in ways that can be seen in this world. An artist can do that with a brush, a singer with a song, a writer with a word, a friend with a smile, a gardener with a garden. You are in the act of extending creation whenever you surrender your own ideas of what a thing is for, and choose only to do what you do in order to enjoy the presence of love and the offering of that love to whomever or whatever will receive it. Creation, then, is the process in which the Creator extends himself or herself from the world of formless into the world of form.
Thank you, David. That segues beautifully into this next song. This is a beautiful song by Ricky Byers that Rev Denise introduced us to. It's going to be an open book test for next week. No. So we're going to sing it for you. Next week we're going to bring it up, put the slides up, and have you sing along. So I hope you enjoy. This is a song called Use Me.
So use me. you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command these hands what they must do. Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. Oh, God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me. Oh, God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. As you show me all that I must do.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'd like to ask for another round of applause. That was just beautiful. And it gives me a chance to catch my breath from that feeling tone. Did you feel that? Did you feel that? Because we can intellectualize and talk about these principles all day long, but it's that feeling tone that cracks open our hearts wide, that we can receive the pearls, the seeds of grace of God that are forever being showered upon us, forever and always. And so our conversation this month is about the receptivity that we can bring forth to receiving that which is already given in every moment and with every breath. And so how very grateful I am to have this opportunity to be here at Unity Naples, to be in this consciousness. Something wonderful and magnificent is happening here, and it is a joy to step into it and to be with you and to feel this with you. And so I say thank you, Reverend Denise. Thank you, the board of directors and this community and the prayer chaplains and the meditation that was so beautifully facilitated. I mean, Hafiz. I mean, how can you miss with that and the music? Not just today, but last night. Thank you, Rich, for the amazing concert. This is the activity of God. This is the activity of love. This is a garden that is already well tended. Already well tended. And so when I get to have the privilege and the honor of standing up here and looking out and thinking of the topic that has been going on all this time, this whole month, and that I get to be the person who comes at the end of the month after this amazing foundation has been laid regarding principle, regarding spiritual principle, regarding love, regarding the nature that we are, the Christ that we are. That this has been introduced already in 4 short weeks. And last month, we talked about awakening. And so we have this awakening consciousness going into the spiritual principles that we speak of and teach of here, and then into the embodiment, because it matters not if we're just intellectualizing it, but then we go into the heart space of our divine identity as Christ, as love, as beauty, as joy, as the creator in expression and extension. And that's what this garden is. And so I imagined as I would open today that I would come up here and I would take a moment to look at this garden, to look at the beauty that has already been planted and flourishing here. And I get to look out upon your faces from this vantage and from those in the world ministry here that is being created, hello, and that we can all look around. And so I'm just going to invite you to do that. Because one of the funny things about standing up here is, and it's great because everybody's looking up here, but I want us to know that we are all connected one with another. And so I'm just going to invite you to turn and look at the beauty that has shown up, because those who are sitting in front haven't seen those who may have come in more recently, and that you can wave and say hello or a wink or a nod and wave into the camera, because there are friends that are joining us from a distance. And the beauty of this is there's no time, no space, no distance between us. That what you see here is the garden of God. And that is each of us right now. Wow, take a breath with me, because I didn't plan to start out like that. I didn't plan to start out like that. But that is how I have been moved from what has been said here. And I was crying before I came up here, because of the song Use Me is a very special song, and I'm so glad that you'll be doing that in this community. And so, last time I was here, I just want to kind of backtrack just a little bit. The last time that I was here, well, before I say that, I want to ask the question, so what keeps us from remembering what was just spoken? What gets in the way of that, of knowing our divine identity, of knowing who we are as spirit, what we are as the embodiment of the Creator in form, the Christ, love expressing? What keeps us from remembering how we serve as that extension of the Creator? So with that question lingering for a moment, taking a breath again, going back to being here about a month ago, and I had shared with you a story, and in that story, the setting was the backyard that I grew up in. And it was, my sister was here, and today my husband is here, Tony, and so I'm so glad that you're here. And since last month, we had this amazing experience of visiting that space and that place. Now, as I laid the foundation last month, it was where I grew up. It was the place that I was raised. All my sisters were, and I was the youngest of 4 girls. And somehow my dad and my mom had this vision of having this property, and the property was across town from where they grew up, and it backed up into what I call the enchanted woods of Swan Creek Park up in Northwest Ohio. And there we would go out and play in the yard and the woods, and there was a playhouse. And it was this idyllic setting, and it's the setting of many of the stories that I actually teach from today. And so one of those that I spoke about last month was that my mother would open the door at dinner time and call us by name. Claudia, Tony, Denise, time to come home, and that voice would call. And it was a voice that we knew, and in that moment, we dropped what we were doing and we returned home. And so we had this amazing, that house has since been sold about 8 years ago, and with my mother's passing back in November, and my dad 11 years ago, we had their ashes, and we had this idea of doing a ceremony in that backyard, not knowing if anybody would let us do that. I mean, that's kind of weird, knocking on somebody's door, which is literally what we did, knocking on their door and saying, gee, my dad built this house, and we would like to honor my parents and have a ceremony. And they shut the door and talked about it and opened the door again and said, sure. And so 2 weeks ago, we gathered there, and we, the first time as a family with the grandkids and everybody, and we walked up the driveway. It took us like 20 minutes just to walk up the driveway. Oh, look, that tree's different. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. I mean, these poor people, they were probably like, when are they going to go? But they were so kind to us. And so we go into the backyard, and we have this ceremony. But what was so interesting is that there was this tree there. And this tree was about this big, that big when we were little kids. And here we were as grown adults, and it's like this big now. It's a maple tree. And that tree was home base when we played hide and seek. And I thought I was the only one who had that memory, but my sisters had that memory too. Do you guys remember playing hide and seek? Somebody, was it, and everybody started at the home base, and in this case, it was this tree. And my dad used to scold us because we'd be hanging on the branch of the tree, and he was trying to help it grow. And it did. It was successful. And, that person would go, 1, 100, 2, 100, 3, 100. And everybody would scatter. And if you were going out and hiding, you'd be really good at hiding, right? You'd be really good at hiding. And I think that's what's happened when I asked the question, how come we forgot? What had us forget? That we've been playing a game in this human experience that is much like hide and seek. It's much like that, isn't it? We go out in the world, we leave home base. We don't really know we left home base, but here we are, we find ourselves here. And we go along a path by those who came before us that give us the conditioning to survive in this world. But in so doing, we get conditioned out of our innate knowing of our identity, of ourselves. Here we are today, right here, all of us, individuals who have probably been seeking something, seeking a sense of identity, seeking a sense of community, right? Seeking a sense of connection, right? And I'm here to say that we can give up this game of hide and seek. And today, we can just decide to be found. Are you ready for that game to be over? Are you? Whenever I think of game over, I think of, we had a family gathering in the Smoky Mountains in this big house, and oh my gosh, in the downstairs level, they had a Pac-Man. They had a Pac-Man, and I know how to do that. It's ingrained in me. I know how to kind of win at that game for a while. But at one point, it'll go, game over. I didn't do that very well, but you know what I mean. You can probably do it. Game over. So I'm here to say that let's let that game be over. Not the Pac-Man game, but the hide and seek game. And let's decide to be found. You see, this in a nutshell has been my whole spiritual journey, and I'm wondering if it might be yours too, where I've been seeking and looking and developing identities outside of myself, which were fine, playing roles. We all play roles in this experience, and it teaches us, doesn't it? But it's not who we are. It's not what we are. Maybe how we serve, but it's fleeting. Our identity is eternal. It is everlasting. You can't add anything to it, and you can't take anything away from it. It simply is. That has been my spiritual journey, my being found, my making it back to that tree, saying, nah, game's over. I'm not going to hide anymore. I'm home. I'm home now, right where I am. There's a quote that I found in preparation for today. I thought, oh my gosh, this is good. It probably came across my Facebook feed, which they say you're not supposed to do that, but I find really good stuff there. I don't know about you. And this is what it says, and it's from, you may be familiar with him, it's American poet Galway Kinnell, and this is what he says. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness until it flowers again from within. We're here to teach one another our loveliness. It's like the laws of love. We don't make those laws. We didn't create them. We didn't really create our loveliness either. But we're here to discover and to rediscover it. And we come together in spiritual community to help one another to do that. Because, gosh, when I forget, I know I can turn to you. And you can help me remember. You can help to teach me to remember again my own loveliness so that I can flower from within. I believe that's what I'm witnessing when I come to this community. That there's this loveliness that is being remembered again, and a flowering from within that is happening because there's nothing to fix and there's nowhere to go. It's right here. Right where we've been planted. Each of us has been born to create. I'm springboarding off of the reading so beautifully read by David. Thank you. It says that you were born to create. It says that you were created. Sometimes it feels like we've created ourselves. I would suggest we've made ourselves up. And we were created by Creator. We're actually the effect of creation, of God's creation. So we were created and made in the image of the Creator and the likeness. That image is not form, it's that formlessness. It's spirit. It's eternal. It hasn't been birthed. It does not die. It is eternal forevermore. That's the image of all-powerful presence of love itself, love intelligence itself. That's the image that we were created in. One of my teachers, Reverend Michael Beckwith, says that to be made in the image and likeness of the Creator means that we have the ability to think independently of circumstances, to think independently of the conditions in the world. We have that ability. We have that ability. And that's what we are being asked to do. And it went on to say that our only function here is to be the conduit made in which the unfathomable mystery and beauty of love can be expressed in ways that can be seen in this world. In other words, there is a mystery to that unfolding of our lives. Don't you just want to know how everything is going to turn out? Don't you? I mean, I know I do. I wanted to know how this talk was going to turn out, only to come to find out it's kind of none of my business. What? How could that be? How could that be? I'm the one who's got to come. Use me. Use me, God. Not in a way of usury, but in a way of invitation, in a way of saying, here I am. I've tried the game of hide and seek. I've gone out into the world. I've made up identities, and it left me wanting. And it sure took a lot of effort. Use me that I may remember again my loveliness and the image and likeness of the Creator in which I was created. And that I'm going to surrender my best thinking. I'm going to surrender what it needs to look like. I'm going to surrender into that mystery. And I'm going to commit my life to being the presence of love. I don't know who's going to hear it or see it or notice it. Doesn't matter. Because love, the truth of who we are, our loveliness, doesn't need to puff itself up, doesn't really need to be noticed, but does require to create and extend. And we see it all around us happening. It's when, in a time when we think not, that it happens, right? We practice, you practice your music. It's taken years to do this. It's taken decades to do what you do, what I do, what you do. The time is now, and the time has come to let go and to allow something greater to extend and express without knowing what it is exactly going to be, but trusting the mystery and trusting love. So when we commit our life to remembering that there truly is, like, I don't know, when we talk about the seeds and the metaphor that's been going on this month, I know it's like, okay, well, which of these seeds am I going to plant? Do I want an English garden? Do I want a succulent garden? Do I want, I don't know what other kind of gardens there are. A vegetable, thank you, a vegetable garden, thank you. Tells you what kind of gardener I am. A fabulous one. And yet, so, I can get all caught up into that. But what if our only job, our only role is to accept and receive the only seed that is ever given? Your divine identity. That seed is a metaphor for idea, for thought, for creation, for creation. Inherent in that seed is absolutely everything necessary for it to come into its full expression. Right? We know that. Same as last month. The caterpillar gives way to the butterfly. The acorn gives way to the oak tree. Everything in that little acorn is necessary for that blueprint for that huge oak tree to come forth. We do not need to get caught up in what it is. Our role is to accept the seed of our divine identity, that we are a thought in the mind of God, and that thought is good and it is perfect. I hear Reverend Denise say that all the time when I listen in. Right where you are is perfect. And you, that seed of perfection hid within each of us, is perfect. Our only role is, are we willing to receive? Are we praying and cultivating a consciousness, preparing to receive that gift? Are we allowing the conditions for that love seed, which means peace and love and attention, to prepare to receive that seed, that it may grow? There's a quote in parentheses that says, I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but God made it grow. I don't know how it grows. I just know that my role is to return home to my divine identity, to commit with every fiber of my being, commit with every fiber of my being, to say, God, bring me home. And to know that it is right here, right now, that we are the Christ. That is that seed. The soil, our consciousness, and the plant is the extension into form. That which we bring forth. We are all in the act of extending creation. Every moment, every breath, right now. Right now. And so then the question becomes, what am I creating? And with what consciousness am I coming from? And the consciousness of Christ, the consciousness of love, is home, is our divine identity. One of the very favorite ways that I like to anchor this, the spiritual principle and the spiritual law that we've talked about, is that it is done unto us as we believe. It's very simple. It's very succinct. It is as we believe. As we believe. As we believe is the thought of God, the thought of love. And then we become the embodiment of it as we focus our attention there. It's so simple. And it's already been anchored here. And so I'm just going to invite us, if you will, and this too comes from the same material as our reading from The Way of Mastery, Joshua Ben Joseph, who is the channeled work of Jesus, who we talked about last week as our way shower, as our brother, who became the Christ, who became the anointed one, who was the first coming that we may be the second coming. In other words, we're the ones we're waiting for, right? Right? You guys have heard that, and you know that. And it's good news. It is great news. And so how I like to anchor that is this statement that says, as Christ. And if you have a block with that word, I'm just going to invite you to substitute love, or substitute beauty, or substitute another word as spirit. I'm going to use the word as Christ, okay? It reminds me of a funny thing from Ernest Holmes, because people are hung up with the word God, too. And at one point he says, I don't care what you call it. You can call it potato for all I care, right? Right? So just translate how it works for you, but it's as Christ, in perfect safety, I release all tension. Now, how can that be? As Christ, as my divine identity, as knowing that God and I are one, I'm abiding then in perfect safety. It's all that hiding and seeking that created the lack of safety. When I return home, I am perfectly safe. So therefore, I can release all tension. This is how I prepare the ground to receive the grace of God. So, as Christ, in perfect safety, I release all tension. Take a breath. As Christ, in perfect safety, I dissolve my mind into the perfect peace of the mind of God. I surrender. I surrender my best ideas. I surrender into the mystery. I join, I unify with God. This is unity. This is prayer. This is the creative process. So I'm going to say it from the start. As Christ, in perfect safety, I release all tension. As Christ, in perfect safety, I dissolve my mind into the perfect peace of the mind of God. And then I breathe. I accept the love of God. Breathing in and out, I accept the love of God. I accept the love of God. And I feel that. And in this stillness, I simply ask, what is the truth? How may I extend creation? How may I be a conduit of the unfathomable mystery and beauty of love of God? And I listen. That is how we anchor our divine identity. This is how we prepare and pray and plant the divine idea. And we simply allow ourselves to be guided from here. Are you ready to be found? Are you ready to be found? Are you ready to give up the hide and seek game and simply be that which you already are, that which we already are? That garden of God, the kingdom of heaven here now, right now. They say the kingdom of heaven is all around you and within you. But that word within is unnecessary. The kingdom of heaven is you, is me. Say that with me. The kingdom of heaven is me. The kingdom of heaven is right here. And now look at whoever's next to you and say, I see the kingdom of heaven in you. I behold the Christ in you. And we're going to have so much fun together. And so it is. And so it is. Amen. And so we ask and we receive. I ask that the eyes of my heart be open. And as they are opened, I see with the eyes of Christ. I see with the eyes of love. I behold and know and see all things made new by the renewing of my consciousness, by the renewing of my heart, by the remembrance of that which sets me free, that divine identity that God and I are one. This is my divine identity, this oneness, this unity. And from this oneness and this unity, we see all of creation extend forth in beauty and grace and glory.
To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
And so, how grateful I am that I have eyes that see, ears that hear and understand. How grateful I am that I am companioned in every moment, companioned by love, companioned by God, companioned by my brothers and sisters, and that together we awaken to this consciousness of love that is powerful, that sees beyond appearances and creates a world anew. How grateful I am for this and so much more. This is a blessing and a gift, and I receive and I accept it here and now. I accept it and receive it now that I may give it freely.
Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
Sing that with us.
Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, a little more love. Reverend Claudia. I have this wonderful saying that I use in my own life all the time, which is to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's and to render unto God what is God's. And so why it's appropriate in this moment is because the love in this room, that Spirit's presence is God's. We are here for that. We render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, which is all the money it takes to pay for it. It's true. All the render to Caesar is that of the world, right? And so we are so alive with the Spirit here. So this is our time for supporting really this beautiful campus, this beautiful community, where we are headed, the garden that we are. And so In a moment, Jesse's and Amy will tell you how you can give and how you can support with your time, talent, and treasure, specifically treasure in this moment. But for now, let us do our offering affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, community.
Thank you so much for giving this morning in whatever way you can. There are a few ways you can give. The easiest way is text to give. Just text the word give to 239-230-4704. Once again, for those in the sanctuary, that number is 239-230-4704. If it's your first time giving this way, you'll receive a link with instructions. And of course, if you've given before, you know how easy it is. Just text the dollar amount to this number and you're all set. You can also give through our website, unitynaples.org/give, where you will see a Donate Now button. Follow instructions there. And as always, you can mail a check to our address, Unity Naples, 2000 Unity Way, Naples, Florida, 34112. And for those in the sanctuary giving cash or a check, we have our drop boxes by the door as you exit. Thank you again for giving. Brian Jones is going to start this next tune out for us. It's an amazing song. We're going to get our praise on with this one. It's called Start a Fire. Hope you enjoy it. Because it's way too fast. A little too fast. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is.
This world can be cold and bitter. Feels like we're in the dead of winter, waiting on something better. But am I really gonna hide forever, over and over again? I hear your voice in my head. Let your light shine, let your light shine for all to see. Start a fire in my soul, fan the flames and make it grow. So there's no doubt or denying. Let it burn so brightly so everyone around can see that it's you that we need. Start a fire in me. You only need a spark to start a whole blaze. It only takes a little faith. Let it start right here in this city. Be those walls will never be the same. Over and over again, I hear your voice in my head. They need to know, I need to go. Spirit, won't you fall on my heart now? Start a fire in my soul. Fan the flames and make it grow. So there's no doubt or denying. Let it burn so brightly everyone around can see that it's you that we need. Start a fire in me. You are the fire, you are the flame, you are the light on the darkest day. We have the hope, we bear your name, we carry the news that you have come to say. Only you can say. Start a fire in my soul, fan the flames and make it grow. So there's no doubt or denying. Let it burn so brightly everyone around can see that it's you that we need. Start a fire in. You are the fire, you are the flame, you are the light on the darkest day. This day, start a fire in me.
Thank you.
Isn't this like the best hour in your whole week? I know it is for me. You guys rock, 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 rock. All right, let's first, before I do anything else, let's give thanks for our offering today. You know, this community is so amazing, extraordinary. So we just give thanks for the givingness of each member, of each person here, of each person watching from wherever you are in the world, and all of your generosity of love, your generosity of spirit, your generosity of resources. For I know that as we receive this gift, that it goes out from here and does good work. It allows us to continue to be a beacon of light for all of those who are done playing hide and seek, who want to be found. I bless this community. We are grateful, and so it is. Amen. It matters more than you know. So, very special announcement. We've never done this before, but we're getting a little desperate. We need a groundskeeper and a handyman here 10 to 15 hours a week. So we have an open position. If you know of somebody who would like that position, who might be perfect, it's a couple hours during the week and Sunday mornings. Please call. You can email hello@unitynaples.org or call the office and speak with the beautiful Denise Achino. So now our favorite time, which is to welcome first-time visitors. Please know that whoever you are and wherever you are, that you are welcome here. And so we would love to welcome you this morning. If you are here with us for the very first time, I invite you to stand so that our ushers can bring you a gift. Please do not be shy. We're not going to ask you to do one thing. We simply just want to say hello. We are so, every week we get more and more wonderful people coming to join this community. And as you can see, we're going to have to add more chairs or do something. Please invite your friends. Do not be shy that there's nothing going on here but a whole lot of love and some really great music. Please.
Hello again. I just have to say, I was sitting here and I was thinking how blessed we are. This beautiful service today and that message from Reverend Claudia. I mean, how amazing, right? So thank you. Thank you. So we have a few announcements, and these activities coming up, they're in your bulletin. They're also on our website at unitynaples.org. But today is Tuna and Crackers Sunday, the fourth week of our Unity in the Community project, where we are reaching out to the Naples community kids by collecting food products for under-resourced local school children. And we want to thank everyone who brought a donation today. And next Sunday is PB&J, Peanut Butter and Jelly Sunday. Also, if you prefer to donate outside, we do have a donation jar. There's a donate button on our website. And you can also, on the text to give number that Jesse gave us, you can also put the amount in there and put food after it. So we have plenty of ways for you to donate. And I just wanted to mention quickly, overall with the jelly and the cereal and everything, we've collected 375 pounds. Woo. That's huge. Woo. So thank you very much. So we will be having our perfect picnic on Sunday, July 4th, immediately following the service. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Goldie's Restaurant will be donating the hamburgers, the hot dogs. They're going to do veggie burgers as well. And so we're asking the rest of us, let's bring some sides, drinks, desserts. And this is a family-friendly affair. And this is what's really exciting. We are really excited to have our kids back with us. And we really encourage, this is really a family, so please bring the children. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to know how many people are going. Now, we've encouraged you to register online. If you haven't done that, we're giving you an opportunity today. As you exit, we'll be handing out, if you have not registered, you'll be handing out a sheet of paper where you can actually register in person. And also, I wanted to, Winna, are you here? Winna's right here. She's sort of spearheading the program, so you can talk to her if you have any questions. She has the forms, right? Okay, thank you. Excellent. Also, if you'd like to volunteer, Winna would really, really appreciate volunteers. So you see her, yes, she's going like this. Yes, I would. Okay, great. So join us Saturday, July 3rd, and every first Saturday of each month at 5 p.m. for kirtan, which is a century-old form of yogic vocational practice using a call and response style of song and chanting, and that includes like Sanskrit, Hindi, Hebrew, Latin, and English. And please bring a cushion for comfort. We'll have chairs, but a lot of people like to lie down. It's a phenomenal experience with the sounds and everything that's going on. Also, if you really want to get involved, bring your own instrument, including drums, rattles, tambourines, guitars, flutes, whatever you want to bring, okay? Really get involved in this. And we're asking for a suggested $20 love offering, but no one will be turned away. We would like to see you there, and please bring your friends. Also, excuse me? Yes, yes, potluck, thank you. Okay, I forgot that. We had a last-minute announcement correction here, so I'm a little behind on this. It starts at 5 o'clock, and we're asking, it's a vegetarian potluck, and it does start at 5 o'clock. Okay, so bring a vegetarian-style dish with you. Thank you. So please note, this is really important. We're going to have a town hall meeting on Sunday, July 11th, immediately following the Sunday service. Join Reverend Denise and the board of directors to get caught up on what is happening around our campus, our summer plans, a financial report, and an update on the search for our new minister. This meeting is for absolutely everyone. Please join us. If you want to know what's going on, this is your opportunity. We are a praying community. So if you'd like prayer support, there are a number of ways to tap into our prayer resources. Our prayer chaplains are available to pray with you immediately following the service today and every Sunday. Now, starting today, we're going to be offering our 1-minute miracles here in the sanctuary. And you'll notice we have 2 chairs set up back here against the wall, and we have 2 chairs set up against the wall. We have a prayer chaplain in each location. I'm going to be a prayer chaplain today, so I'll be over here. If you'd like prayer, please join me or who's the other prayer chaplain? Linda Collins. Linda will be over here. So please join us. And you can also email us for prayer@unitynaples.org. You can call the office at 239-775-3009. You leave a message, someone will call you back. And anytime you need, 24 hours a day, if you need immediate prayer support, please call the Silent Unity Worldwide Prayer Hotline at 816-969-2000. Again, all of this information is in your bulletins. It's on our website and also on Facebook. Now the fun part. Our affirmation for June is located in your bulletin. I'm assuming it's probably up, it might be up there. So we do this as a call and response, and I'm going to read the first line, and then you're going to repeat it back. And we're going to do this with what? Gusto, right? Yes, everyone please stand. Okay, here we go. Do we have it? No, I guess not. Okay. I am an individualized expression of God.
I am an individualized expression of God.
Okay. A blossom in God's garden of good.
A blossom in God's garden of good.
Today, I pray for divine guidance.
Today, I pray for divine guidance.
Tomorrow, I pull weeds of lack and limitation.
Tomorrow, I pull weeds of lack and limitation.
And plant seeds of sufficiency.
And plant seeds of sufficiency.
With calm expectancy, I await the inevitable.
With calm expectancy, I await the inevitable.
And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Amen.
All right, stay standing for just one more minute, and I will do our benediction. Thank you, David. Thank you, Reverend Claudia. Thank you, Rich, for your wonderful concert. Thank you, Sacred service hearts and hands. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, music. So to Wisdom Wednesdays, Amy, Jesse, and I are doing Wisdom Wednesdays, 6 p.m. live on Facebook. This is, at this moment, our midweek service. So please join us online. If you're not a member of our Facebook page, you can like us and you'll get reminded. Also, by the way, at the picnic, we have bouncers coming. You know what bouncers are? We have what's it? A bounce, what's it called?
A bouncy castle.
Whatever. We have a bouncy castle. And we have a bouncy water slide.
Adults.
So I have checked, and adults can do it. So bring things you can get wet, like swimsuits or shorts. Also, if you are interested in formal Unity membership, committing to really being a part of this spiritual family, there is a new member class on Saturday, September 17th, which I will be facilitating along with a few of our board members and prayer chaplains. It doesn't obligate you to become a member, but we'll go over exactly what that means to us and what that means to you. So that's Saturday morning, September 17th. July 17th. I'll be in Africa on September 17th. July 17th. Please join us. We would love to have you. And by the way, we invite you to sign up online. I ask that you sign up so that we have materials for everyone who will be there, and to know which room. I mean, if you all want to be members, then we have to have it in here. All right. So I'm going to do a benediction for us, a closing blessing for our service. So please turn within with me one more time. And see if briefly you can just lean back into that awareness of yourself as the very essence, the very presence of God in form. Whole, perfect, complete, loving, kind, and generous. And to simply know that as you move forward into your week, remembering that you've been found, that your relations, your work, your family, your community, your friends, everyone will be lifted with you, creating a world that works for you and a world that works for all. And so it is. Amen. All right, let us sing. Yes, and Reverend Claudia will be back in the back to see you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And together we say, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.